Bradley Beal. We had made a segment about it. We made 2 segments about it. One time it was with Jack, and both of you guys were here, and it was about Bradley Beal and where he ranked amongst the top NBA players. We all do not believe he's a top 15 player. In fact, in our group chat, we named about 20 that are debatable. And I will say this. The very next week, when we made another video when John was filling in for Jack, and it was Riv, John, and I, we had made a video about Bradley Beal. And I said that Bradley Beal is doing something that is unprecedented. He's leading the league in scoring, but he's not a superstar, and he's not a top 10 player. I then clipped that video, and the 1 minute of that video I posted on my TikTok. And in a little over like 4 or 5 days, the video now has 455,000 views. It got reposted on Ball is Life, and they have 4 million TikTok followers. So the clip went viral. It somehow got in the hands of a Wizards reporter. Yeah. Yes, it got into Wizards Twitter, and a Wizards reporter tweeted it out. And then Bradley Beal's wife responded. She responded to it, and I think I have the tweet right now.
This reminds me of Toronto Nation.
When the video got posted on TikTok, on the Balls Life TikTok, I kind of had like a thought of maybe it would end up getting to this point, because I had seen Bradley Beal's wife on Twitter all year. Like, yes. she's defending Bradley Beal.
She's very defensive of Bradley Beal
all year.
That's her husband.
I give her credit for that. That's awesome. But
I need a ride or die woman like that.
So this is the tweet. She cursed in it, so I'm not going to say the curse words. She said, corny as F. Jealousy is just love and hate at the same time. These the same loser men who would, and she put men in like the things, who would probably run behind his car in the middle of the street to ask for a picture or autograph, all while saying, I'm your biggest fan, bro. You're the GOAT. Yeah, I lame. And personally, me, I would never run behind Bradley Beal's car to chase down an autograph. I said it in a video that I made earlier that there's only a few celebrities that I do it for. Kendrick Lamar, Drake, James Harden. I'm wearing a James Harden jersey right now. LeBron, of course, he's top of the tier. There are a few guys I do it for, but I definitely would not do it for Bradley Beal.
Listen, I'm not gonna sit here and act like if I saw him like just walking down the street, I would like big time and be, just keep walking.
That's different.
Like if I saw him, I'd be like, oh, Bradley Beal, like,
yeah, literally,
what's up, bro? Like,
that's different.
Like it would be awesome, but I'm not gonna, like he's another man.
I just feel like
the reason sorry to cut you off, but the reason I know that I wouldn't do that is because I've played video games with professional athletes before, and I'm not fanboyish at all. Like it's just a whatever to me. If I saw Bradley Beal just walking casually, he's just chilling, I might not even address him. It really depends on the situation, because I'm a person that I don't like to be a burden to other people, regardless if you're a celebrity or not. It really just depends. Like, I know there are some people who, when they go out to dinner and they see celebrities, they go up to them and ask for an autograph. I have nothing against that. But personally, for me, it's just not my personality.
Yeah. I just think when it comes to something like that, it depends on your love for that type of person. So like for you, James Harden, oh my God, like that's James Harden. That's like me, Steph Curry, I'd be like, oh my God, that's Steph Curry. Like a guy like Bradley Beal, who's a nice player, but he doesn't have that quite fame or stardom, and he doesn't hit that fan level for me. I wouldn't just sit there. I'd just be like, oh wow, guys, look, it's Bradley Beal. He's in the NBA, good stuff. But I wouldn't really run behind his car. It's kind of weird.
Yeah, and
it is.
Listen, I wasn't here, but I would have agreed with you guys on the take that he's not a top 15 player, and I don't think that that's meant with any disrespect. I just think it's more. I think it's more of an indictment on how talented the NBA has gotten. That there's 15 players better than a guy that can score 34 points a game. Like that's incredible. And it's no disrespect to Bradley Beal. The league is just great right now.
I don't mean to, barge on Bradley Beal again, but just to clarify, we named 15 that are just not debatable. I think we named a good 5-10 more that were legit debatable in terms of leveling at Bradley Beal. And it's no shame. The league is talented as hell right now.
Yeah. Somebody in the comments asked, is Beal a top 25 player? I think he's top 25. Yeah. I just don't think he's top 15. I think top 15 is different. But to address the other tweet that she tweeted as well.
Oh boy.
She said, any dummy with a mic, headset, and social media platform feel they classify as blogger, journalist, or podcast. I just want y'all to keep that same energy behind the screen, the same when y'all run into these people in the streets, because the D writing is at an all-time high. This is what I have to say to that. I don't really care about the comments that she said, but I'm not going to lie and say that I didn't take it kind of in a disrespectful manner, because she did intend to be disrespectful. What I will say to that is this. I don't think that we are just anybody on a mic and with the platform, because I take a lot of pride in how far that we've come. It took us a year to get to 1,000 subscribers. And in 2 months, we've doubled that. We're almost at 3,000. I take a lot of pride in how much work we put into this, just to give everybody a glimpse that's watching on how this goes down. We record 2 podcast episodes a week. We have to take a day to research, to watch games. We talk about football and basketball. We all go to school full time. Riv works a full-time job. I work a part-time job on the weekends. Jack is commentating for his school, Montclair State, all the time. I'm trying to get into extracurricular activities at Seton Hall as well. So we aren't just some people who are getting on here and saying whatever. Everything we say, we research heavily, and if we're wrong sometimes, we're wrong. If we don't know something, we don't know something. But I don't think that this podcast has been built off of hot takes. I think this has been built off of genuine conversation, and the people who listen to us regularly know that we aren't like that. We aren't screaming at each other. Sometimes Jack and I, Riv and I, get into heated debates, but for the most part, this is a genuine conversation, and we try to be as objective as we can be. And yeah, I just think that, we aren't dummies with the platform.
I just think we hit a nerve. It's her husband. I know she's seen the slander all throughout. His team's losing. He's being overrated by a lot of fans. I just think with the way that they proceeded to put us out there on Twitter as if we said a bad thing or as if we were disrespecting him, which we weren't. We were just stating our opinions like everybody does. I don't like the way she did it, but at the same time, I get it. It is her husband. She's going to ride or die for her man. So it's respectable. So the way she could have came about is we could have had a conversation about it, but she just came with all types of disrespect.
I don't even expect to have a conversation about with Bradley Beal's wife about this subject, but the Wizards reporter that did repost our video, and then when we tried to have a civil debate with her about who do you think Bradley Beal's better than, she blocked us on instant. Anybody that liked my tweet responding to her, she blocked. I think that was very petty, and I'm not going to sugarcoat it. I thought that was very petty because, she
ran from the grind.
Because, you're reposting our video, and you can't even respond to us. You can repost our video and try to call us names and try to bash us, but when we try to respond, you don't want any smoke. You want to block us. I think it's kind of childish.
Yeah, I mean, listen, anybody can want to be in their own soundbox, and that's cool, but it's just hypocritical to then call other people out, saying, like, who are these guys? What do they know? And I get it. Like, people can't possibly understand how much goes into this and the preparation that we do for these episodes. And like I said, how much goes into what we do. It's not like we're just coming here for an hour a week and throwing some audio on a video and then calling it quits. A lot goes into it. And people won't get that, but it's all right because at the end of the day, we know. And like you said, I respect her sticking up for her husband. Like, that's dope. But, like you said, especially for the reporter to throw that out there and then not be able to have a civil conversation, that's crazy to me.
If she's a podcast, we could have went podcast versus podcast. We could have had a little debate, but she just took it and blocked us.
You want to know what's the thing too is that I take so much pride in the platform that we have built so far because none of us work for the NBA. None of us work for a professional organization. None of us work for a big corporation or organization. This lady, the Wizards reporter, works for the Washington Wizards, and we have built a bigger platform. And I take a lot of pride in that because we have built this from the mud. We have literally got this from the mud. Nobody gave us any handouts. You see the TV right here, the lighting that's coming, the camera we're using, the microphones we're using, the interface we use. This has all come out of our pockets. We have invested in this Nobody's investing us. We bet on ourselves, and I'm pretty damn proud of that.
Good bet. Good bet.
So somebody in the comments just asked,
saw it,
why do we consider Harden a top 5 player because he's an elite scorer, an elite playmaker, but Beal, somehow we think that Harden's way better than Beal. I'll say this right now. I don't think that anybody has considered Harden a consensus top 5 player. I have, because I'm a Harden
consensus fan. Superstar, definitely.
Yeah,
though.
Consensus superstar, yes, but nobody has considered Harden a consensus top 5 player, even when he's been in the MVP race almost all these years. The difference between Bradley Beal and James Harden is that you can genuinely say that James Harden has made players around him better and he has taken his team to the playoffs. Bradley Beal has not done that. In his years in Washington, when they did go to the playoffs, John Wall was the best player there. And now you see James Harden now go to a situation in Brooklyn, take a back seat, and he's averaging 23 points and 11 assists. Yeah. He's changed his game to fit what the team needs him to do.
I would even go as far as to say you've seen James Harden with a worser team than Bradley Beal in a very loaded West and make the playoffs, whether it be an 8th seed or a high seed. Still, if you put Harden on the team, they're gonna at least make the playoffs. You even see Steph Curry in the West with a worser team than Bradley Beal, or at least equal. He's in the playoff hunt. It's just, to be a superstar, you have to be able to do stuff like that. And Bradley Beal's team is honestly worse when he's on the court in the defensive end. That also plays a factor. He's not a good playmaker, so it's like the scoring is cool, but it's a lot in blowouts and losses.
Yeah, and even if we're not talking about the winning, because I think that's one of the more important aspects. We've seen James Harden drag a pretty bad Rockets team to the playoffs before. Before Chris Paul was there, before Westbrook was there, we saw him bring a Rockets team to the playoffs. I would say that just breaking them down player by player, Harden is a far better rebounder, a far better defender, a far better playmaker. And so even if you want to say they're in the same tier scoring-wise, which I don't think they are, I would have Harden at least a step ahead of Bradley Beal. I think Harden is up there, a top 3 scorer in the league right now, at worst. Even if you put them even in that playing field, everything else James Harden does better. So it's just a totally different story.
But this was our segment addressing the situation of our video going viral and Bradley Beal's wife coming at us and tweeting about it. So that's it for that. We're over it. We probably are not going to address it ever again.